Oh, God, who's doing the intro?
Uh,
Our intro man isn't here.
That's right.
Damn it.
Hello and welcome everybody to Half in the Bag Disc Golf, a podcast.
I should totally deep fake RJ's face onto you.
And we officially have the...
Welcome to the Half in the Bag Disc Golf Podcast, streaming to you as part of the Joe's Disc Golf Podcast Network. And here are your hosts, Ben, Joe, and RJ.
We have the official first reference that has no context for listeners or viewers
Yes.
in any capacity.
Yes. Have fun, RJ. You'll be here in spirit.
You know what? I think we should deepfake Kermit's face onto RJ.
Oh, God.
For all upcoming episodes.
I don't know how that would work out. That would be...
Not well, but it would be hilarious.
I'd actually be kind of scared. That would probably be nightmare fuel, just because, like, the mouth would be all terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
And the lack of blinking.
Nope. That would be amazing. The people who watch Half in the Bag Disc Golf podcast would be like, dear God. And the people listening would have literally no idea.
No, it'd be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Till I learn how to deep fake voices, which I think is really hard to do.
Hey, did you call me Kramit? I sure did.
Kramit the frog. Oh, man.
Well,
that is a reference that is old.
Yep, I've dated myself in terms of the internet-dom.
Oh, yeah.
I'm effectively okay boomered as in terms of memeage.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I've done that to myself many, many times.
Oh, man. I can't even remember that much of that particular old piece of internet YouTube-y type poop.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember that. I remember they just smoked a lot of weed and giggled a lot. Like,
yep. That's about it.
Because they actually had the theme song. It was like Sesame Street or something like that.
Yeah, it was really weird. I remember that. That didn't live on as well as like the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny, but...
No, it's true. Didn't they do an updated version of that?
I think so.
Or maybe it was like an actual album recording of that?
Maybe. Rather than the terrible audio quality from way back in the day that makes YouTube's audio quality look amazing in comparison.
I was going to say the Flash animation days.
Yes. Oh, I know somebody like downloaded it, ripped it, and then like re-uploaded it to YouTube at like maybe 720p, and I was like, wow, this actually doesn't look bad.
Huh, nice.
Considering it was a Flash animation, probably at 144.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe 240 if we're pushing it, but I doubt it.
I mean, is Newgrounds still alive? Is that website? I don't know. Because I was like, is the original somehow still limping along?
Floating around out there?
No, it couldn't be, because all of the internet browsers wouldn't understand how to...
Yeah, that's true.
Interact with it.
Curse
so the
you.
OG... I was like, the OG file, I'm sure, is sitting on someone's hard drive. They're like, yeah, I've got it on a spinning drive somewhere back there.
It's in
yeah. Even better, 3.5.
Yes.
A flippity-floppity drive.
The flippy-floppy.
That weren't so flippy-floppy.
No, they weren't.
Oh, good old diskettes.
Oh, yes.
Well, back in my day... You know, we're getting old, Joe.
Back in my day when I got a flash drive and it was 64 megabytes, I was like, I could put everything on here. Who needs more space? As I have a 512 gigabyte flash drive.
Yep.
That is actually physically smaller than the 64 I used to have.
Remember when we were like 8 gigs for a music player? How could you possibly put 8 gigs worth of music on here?
I know.
And now we're like, 8 gigabytes isn't enough memory for anything.
That's one song file, uncompressed.
Well, I suppose the two internet grandpas should probably introduce themselves, as we're still technically in the intro.
5 minutes in, it's fine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ian. For our longtime listeners, you probably are already like, oh, yeah, we know that Derp's voice. But for anyone new, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the channel.
Yep.
I am hailing from the land of Chicago. We eat our pulled sausage and drink Malort like it's our jobs, according to everyone else outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
I, however, am sipping on some water because I'm recovering from having some fine German ales yesterday evening.
Yum, yum, yum. I am Joe, derping it up from the Fort Fun, also drinking a lot of water.
Probably not because of German ale.
No, just because I was feeling under the weather last night for some reason, so I'm hydrating. And speaking of just recording and all that stuff, we can only record for another 104 hours and 4 minutes before whatever disc I'm recording to fills up with audio. Thank you, Audacity, for sharing that little fun fact, I guess.
All right. Let's see if we can go. All right. This is the first half in the bag disc golf podcast marathon. Woo! Where we go for 104 hours, you said?
Yeah, give or take.
It'll just become a random sleep stream at some point.
Yes, it will.
But those are popular, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's the internet, probably. I don't know.
I've been away. I've been away from Twitch a little bit too long to know what the meta is currently. What's the meta? What's everyone doing?
Last meta I knew about was the tub meta, only because how could you not know about that? That made headlines.
I mean that's
and it's probably
still going strong.
Yeah.
I mean
they're still working hard at that tub meta.
I'm gonna start a new tub meta. It's just gonna be like the old school country crock tub of butter.
I was gonna say tub of ice cream or something.
Or a tub of ice cream, tub of Crisco. I'll be like,
here you go, fellas. Enjoy your Crisco.
I'm gonna grease up my hands. I'm gonna try to hold a controller and play a video game.
There you go. There's your content for your Twitch stream.
For my comeback stream.
Crisco controller stream.
Oh my god. Actually, you know what? Depending on how amazingly terrible that goes, that actually could start a meta.
It really could. Trailblazers.
Right. If anyone who's listening to this gets to it first, bravo. At least just give us a shout out. Be like, hey, these morons talked about it.
These idiots thought of it first for some reason. We're not sure why, but
I'm not really sure why the fat one didn't go ahead and get the tub of Crisco we know he has in the cabinet, but he didn't. So I did it first.
Yep. So what are we actually going to talk about today? I think it's we're talking about our buying guide that does not involve any Crisco, I think.
Not a sponsor. Crisco is
Feel
not a
free
sponsor.
to sponsor though if you're listening. Anyone at Crisco, your money's still green. It might be a little slick, but it's green.
Or if you want to sponsor my comeback stream, I'll grease up more than the controller.
Get your hair.
Yeah, just whatever I can touch, it'll be Crisco. Oh boy. Okay, so
where's RJ to keep us on track?
So yes, for those of you who have made it into the small talk, we've we will be talking about our holiday buying guide for everyone who is into disc golf. So the person who has everything, but also the person who might just be beginning.
Yeah.
So like if we talk about a choice, we'll both try to like remember to be like, oh yeah, this is a good one for like the person who has it all, or this is a good beginner intro type gift.
For the beginner, you should start with Frisbees.
Yeah.
Got the first one done. Oh, man. Yep. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
But at the same time, if someone is not necessarily a disc golfer, which at this point, the people listening to this are probably all disc golfers.
Probably.
They may not necessarily know, but if like your grandma's like, what do I get Billy? He's into that Satan Frolf thing, right? And you're like, yes, grandma, you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and just pick them up a pack of 3 for $20, $25.
Played Against Sports can have a decent selection.
Oh, yeah.
Used discs. I wish we had a Play It Again out here.
That kind of goes to Indianapolis and stops, really?
Maybe.
Because I think there's like 1 or 2 in Wisconsin, like maybe Madison.
Probably.
And then I think 1 in whatever that city that's closest to us in Iowa, that's name I'm blanking on right now.
Not Davenport.
Nope.
Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Over there.
Curtis lives near there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives in the Quad Cities in Iowa.
Well, anyway, Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa Place. There's like, I think one in there. Anyway.
Somewhere over there. I've been there.
It's kind of a Chicagoland thing, but
yeah.
I'm sure there are other sporting goods stores, like resale sporting goods stores that probably have a decent selection. And oddly enough, at least in the Chicagoland area, gas stations.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
It makes sense. I do vaguely remember.
Yeah, like you could go to the BP on Route 53 and 75th Street, and they had like this weird just wall of Innova discs.
Because Castaldo is right there.
Yeah.
So you lose one, or you're like, I need to buy more, or my friend's coming, so I'm going to buy him 2 discs, or, whatever.
I need to fill up and get a disc.
Yep. Is it like the car wash discount,
No,
save 5 cents a gallon if you buy 2 discs or something like that?
You know what? If you're the gas station near like Eagles,
Eagles Crossing.
Eagles Crossing. I wanted to call it Eagles Cross or Eagles Landing.
So close. So close.
My brain was like, nope.
No.
But yeah, if you're at the gas station near them or one of the gas stations near them, I would be surprised if you're not like, buy 3 discs, get 10 cents off.
Yeah. Yep. That would be a good idea.
See, look, this is why people need to listen to this podcast.
Exactly. We have all the ideas.
We talk about a buyer's guide and then quickly get devolve into how to make your gas station disc golf selling empire profitable.
Exactly. We got these places out here called Phil's One Stop Shop, and I bet you he doesn't have any discs yet. Can't be a one-stop shop if you don't get any disc golf discs.
Shut up, Phil. You're doing it wrong.
Oh, man.
And now Phil's actually he's like, I know where that guy lives.
Don't hurt me, please.
I know his wife. She teaches one of my children's.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm assuming Phil is no longer actually the person who. Anyway,
probably not.
So,
no.
Buyer's guide. You wanna go? Well, you technically went first, so I guess it's my go.
Yeah. Sorry, just resizing some windows here so I can see your face.
You don't want to see that.
No.
Anyway, so this is a recommendation for probably like mid into the hobby / a newer person, but a portable basket is always a great one to have.
Yeah. Yep. There are tons of options out there too.
Yes, but that would be one of those things where you could go to like the Dick's or a Walmart or other sporting goods store or a resale shop and pick up one that isn't necessarily super expensive, because at this point the person you're looking to give this to is like, they want to get better at putting. They don't need something super nice, or they may not know what they want yet.
Yep.
Whereas for your more experienced person, either you just flat out like, what the hell basket do you want? Or you just, give them money towards like, here's towards your basket fund.
Yep.
Because they can get very expensive.
They can. I got a couple years ago, I got a nice, for Christmas, a nice, I'd say mid-range basket. It's the DGA Mach Shift. And what's nice about that one, just real quick on that one, so like you could get a regular practice basket that's like the full normal width chains, or you can get a marksman basket. That's what Dynamic Disc calls them. I think everybody else calls them something slightly different. It's just the skinny chains. Makes it harder. The Mach Shift, you can shift it between both. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
Yeah. So
it's true.
When I've had like, because I keep it at work, because I got, some time sometimes when practices are done, and I just practice there. And when people are like, I want to try, I'm like, hang on, let me make the chains wider to make it easier, so you like can actually play and have some success. Or you can also make the like chain height higher and lower, so give you just a smaller target, just to make it even more difficult for you, depending on how you want to practice and all that fun stuff.
Oh, the Mach Shift is a good one, especially if you can spring for it, and the because it's not super expensive, but
like I said, mid-range. Like you can get more expensive ones, and you can also get cheaper ones. But like the cheaper ones, you go too much lower, and then it's just kind of like, just get a pop-up portable one at that point.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's just it. Those pop-up portables, especially for someone who's new, who just wants to like start practicing.
Yep.
It's great because you put it in your backyard. You're like, cool. I'm not like I'm not practicing refined, placement skills. You're just practicing like, all right, I'm getting my basic technique down.
Yep. Trying to refine that motion so it's just repeatable. And to go with that, I would recommend having at least 5 of whatever your putter is. So getting them, find out whatever they putt with, AVR, Judge, Warden, I'm trying to think, NVs, whatever they have. Find out how many they have, probably only 1 or 2, and buy another 3 or 4. I have 10 just because I like to work in sets of 10, but like more than one, because it's tough to just go, all right, I putted once, now I got to go and get it and come back. And I putted it, like it'll work, it's fine, but it's annoying.
And I mean, for me personally, I've never invested in the fancier plastics for the putter, because I'm just like, it's a putter. Yeah. I really don't care. Like, I have 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, whatever.
And what I've gotten to the point now where like I generally cycle my putters about once a year. So now I just buy 2 more new ones, break them in, and then cycle them into my bag, and the old ones just go into the practice pile. Because they still fly mostly fine. It's just they feel like the edges are getting rough, and because I go with the soft plastic, trying to smooth that out and file it out just doesn't go well. I tried.
No.
It did not go well.
Would a heat gun work? Okay, well, that's a topic for another time. Never mind.
My only thought with that, real quick, is that like you'd end up, because it's soft plastic, you'd end up like warping it more than you'd help it. But yes, I kind of thought of that, and then I was like, but it's so soft anyway, it's gonna...
Wait. Soldering iron. Just
real quick?
Just a quick little... Melt that plastic right down.
Oh, yeah.
And then you wind up with this weird, wholly deformed mess where you're just like, it's my Franken putter. Rah!
And my house smells like burning plastic.
The leprechaun told me to burn things. Yep. So portable putters and portable putters.
Yes, those two.
Portable baskets
yeah.
or practice baskets and multiple putters.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Those are good. For those of you who live in the colder climates and still like to go out, I know a lot of places in Wisconsin like pull their baskets once the winter starts. But if you're in an area like, the Midwest, and it gets a little chilly out and the baskets are still in the ground, some kind of hand warmer. I actually have the battery-powered Zippo brand hand warmer, and it works really well. It works for I think if you use both sides on high, it works for 5 hours. If you go low on one side, it's 10. So, but it works really, really well. I've used another brand that I got from Amazon, and you get what you pay for. Yeah. And it did not get very warm, but it's also ginormous. So it's a 20,000 milliamp hour or millihour.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Yeah.
The heater on it sucks, but it holds a lot of juice. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to charge your phone, that works. But the Zippo one actually works, and I know Zippo also makes one that you use with lighter fluid and you keep in your pocket. And
yeah, well, those are the old school ones.
Yep. You don't have to recharge that one.
No, but you do have to, worry about
lighting yourself on fire.
Lighting things on fire,
Yeah.
It's usually meant for hiking or skiing as opposed to
disc golfing.
Disc golfing.
Yeah, I know a couple older guys that use it and swear by it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to be that fancy young whippersnapper out there with the battery-powered one and not worry about lighting myself on fire. I've been in Boy Scouts. I know these things happen.
Don't we all?
No matter how safe you are with that gallon of gasoline, things happen.
Yep. So piggybacking on that, because it's a similar thought, I went the other route, but that's because of the motorcycle gear. I wound up getting battery-powered heated gloves, which I liked because it's still keeps your hand warm. Take it out of the glove, throw, put it back in. They do make gloves that are thinner, so you could potentially still throw with them on. But anytime you're wearing a glove, it always messes with stuff. But if
I'd be a little nervous that repetitive strain on the wires in there wouldn't break something, as you're throwing a full out drive. Putting, whatever, you're fine probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the gloves at this point, they have even battery powered work gloves, so they're meant to be able to take some abuse. Yeah, I would be surprised. Would not be surprised. There we go. That's the right word. To see if that technology comes forward as the sport gets more and more
popular.
Yeah. So that way there are companies that are like, oh, here you go. Here's a glove. Because I know that there are some, it's frictions gloves or something like that are supposed to be for disc golf.
I know a couple. I know one guy I play with. He came from a big ultimate background, and he wore gloves for that and still wears gloves for disc golf. And I was like, I don't know how you do it, man, but good for you.
I mean, used to it.
He's just used to
it. Years of practice.
At this point, I don't know if I'd want to spend the time when I could just shove my hand in my pocket with my hand warmer.
Yep. The other thought I have is a heated vest. Those keeping the core warm.
Those are awesome.
Those are very expensive. So if you're hey, it's just my college roommate, you're I'm not gonna buy him a freaking battery power heated vest.
No,
just a nice pair of the winter Under Armour.
Yes, I have that. I have the 1.0 gear, which is your lighter weight, and the 3.0 gear, and the 1.0 is great when you're moving. But once you kind of stop, and if you're playing a tournament, some of the tournaments I played in where I knew it was going to be overcast, I went with the 3.0 gear, and I've got the shirt and the leggings. And I stayed nice and toasty warm, that's for sure. Until we started moving, and there's 4 or 5 holes where there were no backups or anything. by like 3 holes in, I'm like, dear Lord, it's so hot. I'm dying. Because that's the kind of stuff that they market for, like, you know, go outside and run around and have fun, and you only need a light sweatshirt for 20 below. Or you're going to be sitting on your ass at a football game.
Yep. Or deer stand
or whatever. And so it was that weird, like, and I just, you know, whatever. But smart thing, layers. You could also just get a regular vest, like joesdiscgolf.com sells Columbia vests.
True.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is.
And there are beanies. Without the little puff ball.
Yeah. So,
and if you're looking to stay warm on the couch while you're watching old Jomez coverage, you can pick up a stupid tree blanket.
Or just a disc golf blanket, or hey, you know.
Hey, look, I did a segue.
Yeah.
I got a sponsorship segue in there.
Yeah.
Boom. Did it. Take that, listeners.
I do like, because generally my arms are fine when I'm out playing. But yeah, if you get a vest, I think it's...
Oh, yeah.
You'll be able to still throw without, like, it affecting your motion too much. Obviously, the more layers you put on, the more coats you put on, or the puffier coats. You're going out for fun, not for PRs.
Yep. Oh, well, I was going to say, I usually just have several layers of different kinds of flannel.
Yep. Yeah. I usually just layer up and go to town, basically. And, you know, I have my winter golf PRs and my actual, like, yes, I played well because, you know, it's 75 and I'm in shorts and a T-shirt.
Well, the moment that there's actually snow on the ground, you're like, okay, the rules have changed.
Yeah. No real run-ups. We're not really calling foot faults here, guys.
Nope. And, you know,
and
penalties.
Bonus points for the pirouette if you can stay upright.
Yep, penalties are measured just in minutes as opposed to strokes.
Yeah. Yep.
How long were we out on the course for? How frostbitten is my nose?
Yes, that is a big one. So, so far, hand warmers, heated gloves or vests or both, depending on what you're doing. Those are all pretty solid options. If you have a disc golfer who likes to listen to music on the course, there is the Bushnell Disc Jockey that pairs with your phone via Bluetooth, and you can push a button as long as you have UDisc, and it'll tell you how far it is to the basket. So if you don't want to pull out your phone...
That's pretty cool.
However, I've listened to one of them. The quality for what you pay is pretty terrible. My advice is to just skip it and look at your phone if you really care at the distance, like if that makes a big difference to you or not.
Mm-hmm.
And with UDisc in general, I just kind of like, it's a good estimation because there are so many GPS variables in that. But I'd save the money and get a decent, JBL's a good brand. Anchor is a shockingly good brand for what you pay, and it's durable. I've had the same Bluetooth speaker that has had the crap kicked out of it, and it still keeps on going. It sounds pretty good. Battery life is pretty solid. Like,
oh yeah,
that's my thing. It depends on how much audio matters to you, and I just think the cost of the Bushnell Disc Jockey, I think it's like I forget. I'm gonna look it up real quick, so we can talk about it. But if you want to talk,
so I will say in terms of earbuds, I actually have enjoyed the Raycons that I purchased. Well, no, not purchased. Christmas gift a couple of years ago now.
Yeah,
but they've been good. They fit pretty snug. I mean, the biggest problem with any kind of earbud is, you know, if you don't have a covering to help keep things in, if you really get a good drive in, one of them will go flying.
Yep.
But in terms of price point for audio quality, like I've been pretty happy with that particular purchase, and they do not come with any integration to
which is
UDisc,
which is fine. So I'm glad I looked this up because I almost made it sound better than or cheaper than it is. It's $80. And it's one of those little square ones that you hang on your bag.
Yeah.
A comparable sized one for Anchor, which I forgot they're kind of rebranding to Soundcore.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a Cyber Monday deal, but regular price, sale price $32, normal price $41. So
yeah,
and like I will sing the praises of Soundcore / Anchor / whatever the hell they want to call themselves, because I've had the Soundcore 2 for years now, and you can get that on sale for like $20. It was not $20 when I bought it.
Yeah.
But it was a solid investment. I use it all the time. Battery life, still surprisingly good. Obviously,
nice.
With all electronics that run on lithium-ion batteries, the longer they live, the less charge they hold. But I still get several hours out of it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Bluetooth, and same thing like headphones. I got as a Christmas present, birthday present, the Soundcore in-ear, Soundcore Pro 2s or something like that. I forget. They've got active noise cancellation, which is
nice.
Not useful. Don't use that on the disc golf course.
Yeah.
But in other situations, it actually works really well. So, yeah.
Yep.
As for headphones, like Anchor has not sponsored this segment, but I feel like they should.
At this point, yes, we've
talked about just about their whole line of everything here.
Yeah. It depends on how much audio they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is another one of those areas where, like, if you're like, they're very particular about what they want. It's like, yeah, just throw them some cash. Be like, here's towards your Bluetooth. Yeah.
Here's $40. Buy what you want. Kind of thing.
Yep.
If they're not that picky, save some money and, get an Anchor. JBL is kind of an in-between price. I mean, they can be expensive. They can be cheap.
Yeah.
But
it's JBL.
Yeah.
They're a name.
Yeah.
They're usually for much larger speakers, but yeah, they've gotten into the portable speaker game.
Yep. So kind of whatever your flavor is. I said, the Bushnell disc jockey, it can be cool. For me, I like a little bit better audio quality, so it's not my thing. And like I said, the price. But hey, if you want to get that, I'm not. Oh, yeah. I like the idea. I like the integration idea.
Yeah. It's just, if the quality is not really...
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is the integration worth to you? And you and I are probably a little more sound snobbish. Not audiophile, I would say, but...
yeah, but it can't sound like it's a tin can.
Yeah. Sounds a bit titty.
Not like caribou.
Woody. A good woody word. There's your deep cut.
Yep. So
yep.
I will move on to footwear.
Ah, yes.
That
is a hot topic on Reddit.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And this is going to be something where I think I'm going to not necessarily be following any of the usual camps that people go down. Because to be fair, I've actually, for the most part, used Chuck Taylor's or, like a Chuck Taylor knockoff, for years, because you don't really get that much grip. So you can really get a good run up and a good swing and pivot, and you're just like, whee!
Yep.
But for slightly more grip, wrestling shoes.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be curious how long they last on the concrete, though.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you are, if you're using the shoes sparingly, they'll last you a season or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it's concrete pads, I mean, concrete anything is
it's gonna tear it. Yeah,
tear almost anything apart.
there's just not much to them, so that's why I was
Yeah.
figuring they probably wouldn't last.
But that's the nice thing is that the amount of grip that they do allow is that nice in between, like a pair of high top knockoffs that have like, yeah, there's tread there, but like
It's for
you're
show.
still gonna slip and slide.
That
and
tread
then,
is for show.
Like a basketball shoe or something where you're
Yeah.
like gripping, intensely
Yep.
because it's meant for concrete or
Yeah.
outdoor use. So yeah, but they're also so lightweight that if you're trudging through a lot of different terrain levels, then it's not nearly as like tiring. And also if they get wet, you're just like, they'll dry in like 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah, exactly. See, and I like to wear trail running shoes if I can, because those are
that would be another good option. Yeah,
those are kind of like on the concrete. You still get grip more than your wrestling shoes, obviously, but also like I don't think it's too much. I can still get out. I get a good spin, and it's not a big deal. But when I'm out on regular grass, I get better grip than a lot of other people I've played with who just use regular gym shoes. I also have a pair of hiking boots that I use. I have a pair of Solinens, nice, sturdy, that I only wear when it's like crazy muddy. It's raining because they're waterproof, or
I've got a pair of Red Wings that I'm like, a good work boot.
Yes. Yep. And then
if you want to save some money, probably some Timberlands, although they got expensive for a while. I think their price has gone down though. I can't remember.
I think so. If not, Walmart actually sells a pretty solid work boot for what you pay. I'll say that. Because I ended up getting a pair of those because they were inexpensive and they were waterproof, and I got them for work, and they lasted longer than I thought, considering they're like $30 or $40. Like,
oh, I'm bad. Okay,
yeah,
I'm surprised on that one.
Well, this is also probably 10 years ago, so
yeah,
I don't know what they are anymore. Inflation and supply chain, buzzword.
Yes, business.
Yes.
Numbers.
Or I know RJ backed and got those Idiosyncrasy disc golf shoes. They're waterproof. He loves them. He says it's the best thing. He's actually used them for Friday night coverage when it was cold and raining, and his feet stayed dry and warm.
Nice.
The catch is they only make regular size because they're disc golf shoes. And for someone who wears not just wide, extra wide shoes, that ain't happening.
Nope.
So here's to growing the sport, man. So you can get some disc golf shoes. Because he loves them. And the way they're designed, like they're designed with one of the top pros, Nate Sexton, and like a lot of thought and engineering went into making these shoes specifically for disc golf. And everybody I know who's had them, including RJ, raves about them. So, but they'll run you like a regular pair of running shoes. They're like 100 and something odd bucks. And I don't know, because they're still really new. I don't know like, are they going to last you a full season? Are they going to be multiple seasons? Like, I know RJ doesn't get out as much, and I don't get out as much now either. So I could see them lasting for him for multiple seasons. But if you go multiple times, if you wear them multiple times a week, I can't imagine they last more than a season, which is about what you'd get. Like my trail running shoes when I was playing a lot got me about a season, give or take.
Yeah, and that's kind of, unfortunately, one of the consumables of the sport.
Yes.
If you're just wearing your regular tennis shoes, then like,
you're probably not going to notice.
You don't notice or care because, you're like, well, I need new shoes for next year anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is what it is. The one shoe I will don't use is a pair of shoes for cruise shoes, because the amount of grip.
Yeah.
I broke my damn ankle.
It just stayed in place.
Pretty much. I was like,
oh God. There goes the knee and the hip. Man down.
Well, it's one of those things in the theater world. Although the shoes for crews are specifically designed for restaurant and workspace type stuff, the restaurant shoes are great for theater stages because you usually have a much slicker dance surface anyway, and they actually allow you to grip. So you're like, all right, I got to push this big ass set piece. So we'd be in between shows and we'd go out frolfing, and I just left my shoes on. Yeah, on a concrete pad. I went to throw, and all of a sudden I was just like, wow. Why?
Yeah.
So don't do that, everybody. Don't buy anyone shoes for crews for disc golfing.
Yeah.
Do it for other stuff. Not a sponsor.
Not that. Yeah.
But I have really enjoyed their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a pair of their dress waiter shoes that I use as my suit shoes, and no one knows. And they are super fucking comfy.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, no, dude. They have nice looking shoes that are so much more comfortable.
Nice.
Anyway.
So going back, I guess the general term of grip enhancer would be a good one. So in the end of October, when it got too cold to make a difference, I got a free sample of that DG Max Wax. It's kind of like it's wax for your fingers to help you grip better, but it was so damn cold out by the time I got it. I couldn't actually get any on my fingers. So TBD on how I like it. I'm going to wait till April or May.
Well, no, that's when you get the Zippo lighter.
Exactly.
The lighter fluid one. You just have it sit next to the wax and warm it up. And then,
But
it's totally fine.
2 years ago now, I switched to using a chalk bag with Climbers Chalk. Awesome. I love it. I know some other people have tried it, hate it. So that's going to be, a lot of this is going to be just personal preference. And sometimes you just won't know until you try. Although I have gotten compliments when I get a good snap on my hand when I throw forehands. Because I'll get chalk on my hand and I'll throw a forehand. They're like, that was so cool. The way the sun just hit this cloud of chalk as the disc left your hand. You kind of look like LeBron. I was like, yeah, but I'm way shorter.
And a lot whiter.
Yeah, that too. And not worth a fraction of what he is.
Pastier and poorer.
Yes. Yeah.
The pasty poor LeBron of disc golf.
Yeah.
That's your new title.
Oh, man. Well, that's almost as good as the other nickname I have now in the club, which is Magic. Yep. But it's not Magic Mike.
No,
Magic,
I was going to say.
Magic in my last name because of the 2 years running where I made it to the Final Four and pissed my pants, basically. And somehow now I'm Magic for making it there.
It's because apparently no one believes that you can.
No one expected me to the first time, and apparently it was still kind of a surprise the second time. So here's the third time. I'm going to ruin everybody's expectations and lose in the first round.
I was going to say, you're either going to lose immediately or you're going to win it all, and then you're going to be like, did it.
Retiring.
Yeah.
I don't want to go any further and cause any copyright strikes.
You don't want to get YMCA'd?
Yeah. But yeah, there's those. Then DD makes what they call his grandma's dirt bag. It's filled with some clay stuff, and everybody has a version of that. And then there's the good old sport sack that just kind of absorbs moisture. And I find the combination of the sport sack and Climbers Chalk during the summer is great because I have sweaty hands, and it's usually really, really damn humid in the Midwest.
You can pick up a generic bag of chalk from like any bowling supply store for like 3 or 5 bags for like maybe $15-20. It's been a while since I've got any, but
I bought a 500-gram bag of unicorn dust, I think it's called, from Amazon. It's like it's the best climbers chalk out there, is what everybody has said.
And are you sure it's not cocaine?
Maybe. Amazon sells everything.
It's unicorn dust.
Dr. Axo, the rock and roll cloud. I do cocaine.
Like, I'm sorry, PDGA.
Yeah.
But your entire sport is just drug references.
Well, no, that's
for
just
all
that's
of the
from
names
climbers,
of everything.
and it's made in Colorado, so.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's just like, but like every name that everyone likes to use for anything in this sport, it's like I said, it's the gnarly ball ripper.
Yep.
Or ball crusher. Sorry, there we go.
The ripper's a different one now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
the putter.
Those are all out there. I mean, if you go on Amazon and just search, you'll come up with a dozen different things.
Yeah.
And if they like a specific brand, you can buy whatever that is with that company's logo on it. So, I've got, the only reason I originally bought the Prodigy branded chalk bag is because I had funny money to spend, and I could not find any discs that I needed, and they didn't have a great selection. So I was like, I'll buy that, because why not? I don't really care.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have saved, a ton of money and bought generic climbing chalk bag number 1.
Yep.
And done it that way.
Yep.
But hey,
yeah.
whatever.
Especially if someone's starting out, chalk bag's a chalk bag. They can be like, I like this or I don't like it.
Yep.
To begin with, they probably won't actually notice a difference until they're like, I've golfed without it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you probably won't notice a difference. And honestly, unless you've been playing a while, it won't make a difference, in my opinion. If you just don't know how to, if you're still learning, it's not going to make a difference.
No, not right away.
It's one of those things where, like in every sport and everything you do, you don't need to buy the nicest Craftsman tool set to start learning how to fix your lawnmower. You can just buy that cheap set from Walmart to see if you even like doing it.
Harbor Freight tools.
Those are good deals.
They'll last you a job or two, but you'll find out whether or not you're like, oh yeah, I can do this and I like it, or dear God, no more.
Buying that tool was a bad idea. Glad it broke.
Yep.
Don't feel bad for getting rid of it now.
Sorry, Harbor Freight.
Yep. Trying to think of what else here. Carts.
Carts. Yeah.
That's a later investment for someone who's been in it, and those can run you a lot of money depending on what you get. And there's the Rover carts, which are kind of like, I believe those are the ones that look like ball golf carts.
Yeah.
For your bag. You hang them on there. Some people like them. They're tripod style.
Yep.
I have the Zuka cart, which, there's also Ridge Roller and R3, I think. I'm trying to remember all the different brands. They're all similar, range wildly in price. I like the one I've got just because it's always got a seat, and, at tournaments, it's great. If your course that you play is really hilly, carts are a terrible life choice.
Yep.
This is mostly for flat surfaces, or if you have a caddy.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, for early persons in the sport, or people who are like, yeah, that's a lot of hills. Just a good messenger bag.
Yeah.
You just sling it over one shoulder,
Yep. I know.
Easily drop it.
It's, who is it? I think Dynamic Discs has a sling bag, so similar. And I think Pound Disc Golf, where they only make bags, I think they have a messenger style. And, if you look hard enough at all the different companies, look at the major manufacturers, Innova, Prodigy, Dynamic Discs, well, Trilogy, really. And somebody will have.
Got 'em.
Yeah. If you want to spend a ton of money, Pound, I think they have a lifetime warranty. Like, it's some crazy warranty.
If you don't, Walmart, Land's End.
Yes.
You just
whatever.
pick up any old messenger bag.
Shoot, you might even have just a laptop bag laying around.
Yep.
If you only got a handful of discs.
I was gonna say if you attend any convention, someone is most likely giving away.
Yep.
Some kind of messenger bag.
I've got to go through some of mine, but yeah, I've got like 4 or 5. I'm just like, I don't need these anymore. They're great in college, but I don't. Now I've moved back to using a backpack. Just carry too much crap.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Especially if you're like, I got my computer.
Yep.
So this is late stage disc golferdom, but if they're really into distancing, you can go ahead and splurge on a rangefinder.
Yep, I've got one.
If and you want. Otherwise,
I enjoy it. I find it useful. Some people are like, "Oh, you should just know how far that is and just know this and that." I'm like, "Okay. Well, that works on the courses I play all the time."
Yeah.
The courses I don't play all the time, I don't realize that, I am 250 feet out instead of 280, which is 2 different discs I would use, believe it or not.
Yep.
Distance-wise. And sometimes I want to know how far it is to that specific tree.
Yep.
Or whatever obstacle. I find it super useful. And the new version out there, mine will tell you the elevation, but it won't tell you the change or like what it feels like. Like, yes, it's uphill 1 degree. The new ones will go, yes, it's uphill 1 degree. So it plays like, at 10 feet longer, 15 feet long, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not as worried about that because I could just kind of look up the hill and go, yep, this is a full rip.
Yeah.
But it's only, 150 feet. Yeah, and it's also 70 feet up above me, so I'm in the ravine.
Not necessarily useful for tournaments, but, if you're scouting, oh my goodness, scouting a course or just getting practice on a course.
Yep.
It's just nice to have and know.
Yep.
And then also, if you're in an area where you can do some deer hunting, you're like, well, cool, now I can also be like, well, that deer's over there.
Yeah.
It's this long.
Yep. And you can set it to feet, yards, and meters. So, and I think it's good to like 500 yards or something like that. It's something.
Personally, I'm always good with a foot meter.
It's it's one of those where it's like 500 yards, and you're just like, that's obscene for disc golf. That makes no sense. But it's Bushnell, and to be honest, I'm surprised it took them this long to get into the disc golf rangefinder game when all they've done is just slapped a new logo on it.
Well, but, bureaucracy, they had to go through so many hoops, and they're like, well, we have to print this much. And
I think the story was like one of their high-up marketing guys is big into disc golf and was like, we should do this. And they're like, yep, here's the rangefinder model. Slap this disc golf logo right under Bushnell, and there you go. It doesn't really cost them all that much.
Nice.
To slap the extra, it's 1 extra silk screen on there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's about all they did, so it cost them an extra penny, maybe?
Probably.
And they still charge the same for it, and now you've got a huge, well, not huge, but you've got another segment of the market where they're just like, ah, yes, Bushnell, I will buy that now.
Yep.
It didn't say disc golf on it before, but now it does.
Yeah. Before, it was just for murdering deer.
Yep.
Now it's for murdering baskets.
Yes.
And deer.
And the score
deer
card.
Baskets.
Deer basket. Please go into the basket. Deer basket. Let's go in.
I have a good story. We'll see. We'll put it at the end so that way if you're like, nah, this doesn't make any sense,
yep.
you can rip it out. But I had a woods deer related traumatizing event for Bean and I yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was exciting.
One of the other things that I thought about, this is someone who, if they like hiking or like exercising, a Garmin watch or an Apple Watch.
Nice.
I have a Garmin watch that they just released an app like 2 months ago or something like that, where UDisc will connect to your phone, to your watch, and you have some limited functionality. Basically, you could just change the score, look at the score. You can't mark down distances. It'll tell you distances if you look at it. Apple Watch, the Apple app version, I think works better. I don't have an Apple Watch, so whatever. But
yeah,
those
I'm
are
an
the
Android.
two. Yeah, those are the two. I don't know if they work with Samsung watches, but I mean, Garmin's are ever since I switched to Garmin from Fitbit, because Fitbit turned into a POS long before I think Google bought them, and now I haven't heard great things either. But Garmin has been doing a really good job, and they've been doing a good job for a long time. So they're in that smart-ish watch segment. It's got quite a lot of functionality for tracking your runs and whatnot, and disc golf and hikes and whatever. But it's not. The battery life is far better than an Apple Watch, and you get a lot of the same functionality. You can't talk to people on your wrist, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, Jim, I can't do that.
I'm giving her all she's got.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor.
Internet grandpa's at it again.
Yep. Yep.
So the other one, because I know we're starting to kind of get up there in terms of the episode. Disc retrieval.
Yes.
I either a claw on a stick or a claw on a string.
Yep. I've got the Dynamic Disc Golden Retriever, and it paid for itself, I think, after the second use, because it's like, I want to say at the time it was like $25, and the disc I was going after wasn't $20. So by the second disc I got, it was fine, and now it's paid for itself 10 times over, and it's awesome. Go for the shorter, because they charge you a lot of money to get like the extra long string. Just save yourself the money, buy some decent paracord from like Menards or Amazon or wherever, and just do that instead. Otherwise, it's great.
Oh yeah. Nope. It is a must if you're going out with any regularity and want to do much more than like recreational, where you're like, I'm not buying the best plastics anyway.
Yeah. Or I can't afford to just keep losing discs, which is what happened to me.
Yeah.
The problem is, one of the courses that I used to play all the time, it wouldn't matter if you had a retriever or not, because the river and the creek that fed into it was generally swift moving, and if it went in, it was gone. Most of the time, it was gone.
Yep.
And it's gone.
And it's gone.
Sorry, this is for customers only.
No, it's not like the river that I sunk into.
No, well that is the same creek, but it was just kind of at the end of when we get all the rain, so it was down.
It's true.
Just super muddy and very disgusting smelling.
Real stagnant.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
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 Just careful where you go in when you retrieve it, because the water can be rather disgusting, even if it has no pollutants in it, if it's just dead and decaying leaves and other organic matter.
Yep.
And, careful so you don't get stuck.
Yep. In terms of me, I think that's kind of about it in terms of
Yeah. The rest of it
things
kind of
to
comes
look at.
down to personal preference, really. Just know that person, and that'll definitely help. Or you could always
ask them if there's the one thing they're missing. They're like, what do you want?
Or you could always just throw them a gift card to either whatever their favorite brand is, or two of the biggest general sales disc golf, the Amazons of disc golf, if you will, are OTB Discs and InfiniteDiscs.com. They have like all the major brands, and they have pretty much all the accessories from all of them.
Yeah.
So if you know they want disc golf stuff but don't know what, there you go. Get them one of those gift cards. They'll be happy. Amazon gift card, whatever. Just throw them cash. Start just throwing dollar bills at them.
Just 3D print a bunch of discs and just start throwing discs. Make it rain discs.
Where'd you get those pink 50s from, Grandma?
Nana's a cheating whore.
Oh, man, that is not as far back as we've been going, but that's still not recent. Oh, watching you drink a good water bottle, insulated water bottle.
Yes.
The ones I use, like, I don't use my nice fancy one for outside because it looks really nice. I go buy the Walmart brand 40-ounce water bottles, insulated, and both of them have lasted. This is their 3rd year. One of them has, I've dropped it enough, and part of the outside started to crack, and so I just was waiting till the end of this season. And I'll probably just buy 2 new ones because the other one probably isn't too far behind. And they're from Walmart, so they're like $15 for the 40-ounce. So I'm not like...
Oh, that's... Yeah.
I think it's $15 or $20. And they lasted 3 years of abuse outside, disc golfing, hiking, like random dropping.
Anytime you're outdoors, they're going to get banged up.
Yep. And I never had an issue. Like, I think the outside label, they claim it keeps things cold for 24 hours. Hell if I know. But I've never had an issue where, like, I start a round and by the end of the round, the water's warm. It's always still cold. A lot of times it still has solid ice in it. So
I was going to say, if you're not drinking enough water that you don't hit that 24-hour limit, you're probably not hydrated enough.
Yeah, but you know, some of those ones that are insulated.
Yeah,
you say that, but the scalding hot water in here from 2 hours ago that was ice cold says otherwise. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but
cool.
I think that's about everything I got. Talked about a whole bunch of random stuff, but it's all good. Like, hopefully it all helps.
And hopefully you've enjoyed some of our terrible references. So I will say, if Joe decides to include the deer trauma story,
why not?
Then we'll do the closeout and then we'll start that. So if you're just like, I don't even care, but it is a good story. It's fun, good times.
Good times.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you to those of you listening or watching. You can find us on any of your major podcast outlets.
Yep.
You can also find us, if you want to watch us, at Joe's Disc Golf YouTube channel, the Half in the Bag section. Go and spend some fun money on the Joe's Disc Golf merch store.
Yep, it's got the Half in the Bag, Stupid Tree merch, and the Joe's Disc Golf merch, and just generic disc golf basket that says disc golf.
I do enjoy it
because I mean,
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
I looked at it and I was like, okay, if you don't like the Joe's Disc Golf logo or Joe's Disc Golf on whatever apparel, and you don't want the Half in the Bag or Disc Golf Drunk, but you want to get a disc golf something, you just get a little disc golf basket right on your hat or on your shirt or whatever.
Disc golf.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good times.
So yeah, I'll have Joe go first. Joe, where can we find you on the interwebs?
At Joe's Disc Golf on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. I'm becoming more active. I've got like 300 upvotes today. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because somebody asked a question, what color disc do you use? And is it like, I forget what the question was, like, do you have to get that color? It's like, I try to buy pink because it's easy to see in all conditions. But if I can't, then I don't. Like, I'm not really, like, over half my bag is pink, but the rest I'm like, well, I'm not getting rid of it. There's nothing wrong with this disc. So, yeah. On Reddit, joesdiscgolf.com, working on Disc Golf Healthy. That is a big work in progress, but that has been that every time I try to start a project, it just keeps getting pushed back, and it just doesn't go anywhere. I'm trying. I really am. Just need to set aside time.
You'll get there.
Just need to
get there, buddy.
I need to set aside time to like start writing that stuff up.
I'll yell at you until you've set aside enough time.
Yeah.
And that's if I remember to yell at you.
Here's the thing. I got yelled at for almost 3 years to write up my Eagle project. Not do it. Not do anything. Write it up. It was done. High five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They're like, you're turning 18 soon. I was like, yeah, I know.
So here's the thing.
Get that done.
My Eagle project was finished when I was around 13. And I got my Eagle Scout at 16. I had all my badge. I had everything done. I just had to write up my Eagle project. And I just didn't.
Nice.
Why? I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well played, Teenage Joe.
Yep. Dumbass.
So
Past me was so dumb.
I'm pretty sure all past everybody.
Yep.
Was usually stupider than current person is.
Usually. There are exceptions to the rule.
But that's true. It's true of everything.
Yes, there is. Where
so
can they find
me.
you, good sir?
Me, you can find me when I do return to Twitch, twitch.tv/popperfresh.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if I am on a social media platform, you can find me under Popperfresh. That's POPR Fresh.
Yep.
And at that point, we'll say thank you everybody for listening to the main show, and we'll go ahead and start story time.
Yeah.
So, story time. Yesterday, very nice outside.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
it was gorgeous.
50-something degrees.
Yep.
Like enough where like I was just in a flannel shirt, t-shirt, jeans, comfortable.
Yeah.
Like Bean was in a little sweatshirt and some long, swishy pants, and he was good.
Yep.
So I was like, Bean, let's go hunt some treasure. Let's go find a geocache. I was like, I want to kind of see because he's really interested in walking in the woods, not like on paths, just walking in the
wandering,
woods.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
So we find the first geocache. He actually found it first. I mean, I saw it, but I was like, Bean, look over there. And he's like, Dad, treasure. And I was like, yeah. So he, of course, was like, I'm going to take the treasure with me. I have to go bury it in our house. I was like, no, but that's not how geocaching works. He's like, but Dad, treasure. It's a different kind of treasure, bud. So the next three we strike out. Just could not find it. But the Forest Preserve has looked like they've been doing either some controlled burns or some maintenance. So they may have removed the hosts that these caches were supposed to be attached to. But also I'm out with a 3.5-year-old. So I'm like, we didn't spend that much time in any one location. So I can't be like 100%. But anyway, we get to the last one. It's far enough out. I was like, screw it. I don't feel like walking all the way back to the path and all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm just going to cut through the woods. So I'm following this deer path, and we're coming up. I've crossed a little creek, and we come up over the edge, and the deer path is going, and there's a tree that's large enough, and I see what looks like a weird pile. I was like, that's a weird way for some sticks to be arranged, and I don't believe there's a geocache over here. And it doesn't really dawn on me until we round the tree, and there is just dead buck. Nice. Rib cage open.
Oh.
Some flesh still left on, because the coyotes and foxes that live in the forest preserve had been picking at it.
Yep.
Enough to clear out all of the innards, but not enough for it to be completely just bone.
Yeah.
And so Bean is on my shoulders at this point, and we've both stepped around, and I was just like, he's like, Dad, broken reindeer.
Yes.
Well, but he's not broken. He's real dead.
Yeah.
This deer can't be fixed. It's not coming back.
Should have taken the antlers.
So, but he's like, Dad, broken reindeer's scary. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get around it, because the deer path literally goes right next to where the deer died. Like, it's like 4 paws or hooves are like in the deer path, and I'm like,
it was like walking along and basically just like boop, keeled over.
Yeah, or it had gotten hit by a car and then like gotten back to that point. Anyway,
whatever. Yeah.
Yes. So poor Bean is just like, Dad, broken reindeer. It's like, you know, he's clearly trying to work on all of this.
Yeah.
I've found like a path that's like not enough sticker bushes for me to like, I was like, okay, I can make it through this. He won't get hit. And so he's like trying to work through it. And all of a sudden I must have like been close to a rabbit den, because all of a sudden it's just, and so like both of us are like, and like he's just like on my head, and I'm like, I can't breathe, Pete.
Can't do it. Oh man, poor kid.
Traumatized him right out of the woods.
Yep. So he's never gonna want to walk in the woods again. And
yeah, I'm gonna wait like a week or two, because he is still 3. So I'm like, just let him forget.
I'll just forget. It'll be fine. Yeah. We haven't had any of those issues yet.
Yeah, that was the woohoo. Woo. That was my story. Yeah. All right, well, thanks everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.